The Six Darśanas are the philosophical framework of Vedic thought, six luminous pathways exploring reality through reason, observation, and inner experience. When the world was young, wisdom spoke in silence, waiting for those who would listen. Let us journey through how these timeless insights now resonate with the discoveries of modern science and psychology. In the quiet dawn of ancient India, six radiant paths of knowledge emerged, the Darśanas. Darshana means to see, a way of perceiving and understanding reality. Each path explored the nature of existence through its own lens, through logic, observation, and reason. Though their methods varied, all were rooted in the same eternal source, the Vedas. First comes Nyāya. Nyāya is the science of reasoning, a philosophy that explores how we come to know what we know. It teaches that truth can be discovered in four ways: by seeing directly, by reasoning, by comparing, and by learning from reliable sources. The thinkers of Nyāya studied how the mind works, how we form ideas, and how we decide what is true. Today, their insights echo in the scientific method: observation, hypothesis, and verification. They remind us that knowledge is not static, but a process, refined through experience and reflection. Modern neuroscience also supports this ancient view. The brain does not simply record reality, it helps create it, shaping what we see through memory, attention, and expectation. Nyāya reminds us that clarity begins not with what we observe, but with the mind that is doing the observing. Next is Vaiśeṣika. Vaiśeṣika was its natural companion, the science of matter and physical reality. They taught that the universe is made of tiny, subtle particles called anu, the smallest conceivable units of existence. Over 2,000 years ago, these philosophers described how all things arise from the coming together and separation of these particles, guided by natural laws, not by chance. They organized reality into 6 categories: substance, quality, motion, universality, individuality, and relation, a clear framework for understanding the physical world. In many ways, it was an early vision of physics, seeing matter not as lifeless, but woven into the living order of the cosmos. Modern physics now explores this same mystery through different tools, discovering that beneath every atom lie even finer layers of energy and connection: quarks, fields, and quantum vibrations. Like the seers of Vaiśeṣika, scientists today find that the universe is not chaotic but patterned and precise, where observation itself influences reality. Vaiśeṣika reminds us that the physical world is not separate from intelligence. It is an expression of it. Then comes Sāṃkhya. Sāṃkhya is the science of consciousness and matter, a map of reality that explains both the outer world and the inner self. It teaches that existence is made of 2 fundamental realities: Purusha, pure awareness, and Prakriti, the material nature that gives rise to thought, emotion, and form. All experience unfolds through their interaction. When consciousness identifies with the movements of matter, we feel bound and limited. When it recognizes itself as the silent witness, liberation begins. In modern terms, Sāṃkhya describes the subtle relationship between the observer and the observed, a dialogue that science is only beginning to glimpse. In quantum physics, certain experiments show that observing a particle can change its behavior, suggesting that observation and reality are deeply connected. Sāṃkhya speaks of this at a subtler level: the meeting of consciousness and matter, awareness and creation. Both point to the same mystery, that reality is not fixed, but shaped through the very act of perceiving. Sāṃkhya reminds us that behind every experience, behind every perception, thought, or emotion, there is the steady light of awareness, unchanged and eternal. The sages saw that while matter moves and changes, consciousness remains, silent, witnessing, and free. When we recognize this, the dance of creation becomes not confusion, but harmony, awareness, seeing itself reflected in the universe. Next arises yoga, the path of direct experience. Yoga takes the insights of Sāṃkhya and transforms them into practice, a living science for mastering the mind and realizing the self. Patanjali, the ancient sage, organized this wisdom into 8 steps, known as the Ashtanga Yoga. They begin with the foundations of right living, ethics, and self-discipline, followed by posture and breath, designed to steady the body and quiet the mind. From this steadiness, attention turns inward, withdrawing the senses, concentrating deeply, and entering meditation. When the mind becomes still, perception clears, and one experiences samadhi, the direct realization of unity between the individual and the universal consciousness. Today, neuroscience explores these same states through the study of meditation and mindfulness. Research shows that regular practice changes brain structure, reducing stress, balancing the nervous system, strengthening focus, and cultivating emotional balance. Where science describes neural pathways, yoga describes awareness, both revealing that clarity, health, and peace arise when the mind becomes still. Next comes Purva Mīmāṃsā. Purva Mīmāṃsā is the philosophy of right action, a system that explores how intention, duty, and ethical conduct shape both the individual and society. It teaches that the universe is governed by order, rita, and that harmony is maintained when our actions align with this natural law. In its earliest form, Mīmāṃsā focused on Vedic rituals, not as mere ceremonies, but as precise ways of tuning human behavior with cosmic rhythm. Over time, its deeper message emerged, that every action, when performed with awareness and sincerity, becomes a form of spiritual practice. Modern psychology echoes this ancient insight. Studies in mindfulness and behavioral science show that conscious, purposeful action reduces stress, sharpens focus, and fosters well-being. Mīmāṃsā reminds us that fulfillment is not found in outcomes, but in the quality of our intention, a state where awareness brings meaning to every action. Finally, Vedānta. Vedānta means the culmination of knowledge, the point where all inquiry leads to one profound realization. It teaches that the essence of all being is consciousness itself, the same awareness that shines within every living form and gives life to the cosmos. The individual self, Atma, is not separate from this greater whole. It is a reflection of that same universal consciousness. Modern physics, too, searches for a unified field, an underlying principle that connects all forces and forms of nature. Vedānta turns this vision inward, suggesting that what science explores in the outer universe, consciousness reveals within. When we perceive this unity, the boundaries between self and world begin to dissolve. Knowledge deepens into understanding, and understanding into peace. Vedānta reminds us that wisdom is not about accumulation, but awakening, realizing that the light we seek has always been our own. The Six Darśanas form a complete vision, from logic to liberation, from the atom to awareness. Together, they reveal that knowledge is not separate paths competing for truth, but a single journey of discovery unfolding through different languages: philosophy, science, and experience. Each system contributes a piece of the whole. Nyāya sharpens our reason, Vaiśeṣika explores the nature of matter, Sāṃkhya unveils the dance between consciousness and creation, Yoga shows the path to mastery of the mind, Mīmāṃsā guides right action, and Vedānta leads us to unity. Modern science and these ancient philosophies may appear to travel different roads, yet both seek the same destination: to understand the nature of reality and our place within it. The sages of old taught that true knowledge is not merely to know, but to realize, to see with clarity, that the observer, the observed, and the act of observation are one. And in that seeing, wisdom awakens. Thank you for joining us on this journey.